Hello and welcome to the final round of the AOR V8 Supercars Championship at Bathurst. So we're going to get away from the line now. We're not going to show qualifying because it's boring. So off the line and off the track, we are going to go around Shuffle there, who's stalled. So I've lost a couple of positions from 8th on the grid. Not the best qualifying at all. There's only 13 people in the race. The championship has taken a nosedive for the final round. But that doesn't concern me too much. The main battle for me is against T6 Bullet. Whoever beats the other one gets 4th in the championship. So, pretty much between me and him, he's already 5 cars ahead. And Shuffle there is going to get totally obliterated through turn 2. I think that was Sketch going into the wall. Getting collected by Shuffle, who's going to have terminal damage there. He's going to have to crawl round at 1 mile an hour for the whole lap. Going to put him a long way behind. So up into 8th again, where I started the race. So after that disastrous getaway from the line, I'm back to where I started. T6 Bullet is only there 3 cars ahead in the white Nissan, as you can see. So again, I'm trying to beat him in this race to beat him in the championship. Currently 4th, trying to maintain 4th in the championship, and he's actually lost 2 positions there. A bit of a shaky start for him in this race. Going backwards by 2 positions there. So I'm right on his tail. That is good news as we head into the little hairpin here at the bottom of the hill. The 2 Fords are going to make contact. The Pepsi Max Fords have made contact. He's sideways. I'm going to go round him on that turn there, and I'm going to lose a lot of momentum. As you can see here, look at that. I have lost a good couple of 100 feet over T6 Bullet, which is not good news at all. So it looked really promising about 10 seconds ago. And then that happened, and I've lost a lot of ground, which can be very disastrous. It can take a lot of laps to make back that kind of ground, especially against someone who is very even with you in terms of pace. It's going through the chase there. The end of lap 1, let's see the situation here. 7th, I'm behind my main championship rival by about 2 seconds here, so could be a lot worse, I guess. At least I don't have damage. So we're going to fast forward to the end of lap number 2. T6 Bullet has got past Urban's Octane here in the Ford. The Ford really quick down the straights at this circuit, so it's really going to be hard to get past down the straights. The 2 long straights on this track, this one here as we enter the chase, and the one after turn 1 into turn 2. But as you can see here, actually, I'm getting a decent slipstream here. Not losing too much ground as we hit the limiter just before we go through the kink, braking on the end of the shadow here into the chase, into the left. He's gone wide. Urban's Octane has gone very wide. I was expecting him to come over here to cover the position, but I'm through into 6th position, still behind T6 as we fast forward to lap number 4. He's actually grazed the inside of the wall there, and he has damage. I couldn't hear him say it over the microphone, but it was confirmed to me that he had damage here. So you can see he's going a lot slower than he would normally be. And I'm going to go past on the straight quite comfortably. He doesn't fight it at all. So I'm through, ahead of my championship rival into 4th position. So it's all going quite well at this stage here. So he's going to have to pit here. It's going to be a 2 stop race, this one. So here are the implications in terms of the pit stops. The cars can do roughly 13 or 14 laps, depending on your car. I think the Mercedes can only do 12. So he's going to pit here on the end of lap number 4, which means he can still just do 2 stops. For those who pitted at the end of lap 1 will have to pit twice. Here's me going past Robo, and Robo again. Lapped him about 2,000 times in this race. And this is me coming up to the end of lap number 13. Gone up to a temporary 2nd here. Sam is in the lead by a long way. Shadow Demon was in 2nd. He pitted a lap before. Phil and Kerry behind me here. They had a bit of a coming together, which put them into the pit lane as well earlier than they would have liked. So I'm into the pit lane here in 2nd. A net 3rd though at this point in the race. So going in and then going out in 5th position now as we leave the pit lane. And as you can see, T6 Bullet in 6th position there, over 1,000 feet as he's coming just out of turn 1. You might have seen the white car coming through. Going past Robo again, and then lap 17. A couple of laps have progressed since the pit stop, trying to put in some consistent lap times. but not quite as good as T6 Bullet. He did actually reel me in by about a few hundred feet, which was fairly worrying as we crossed the line there onto lap number 18. He pitted at the end of this lap. Remember, he had to pit quite early in the race, so he's having to go in for his second stop now. I have a bit of leeway with my second stop, so this is the end of lap number 19 as we cross the line here. This is going to be my fastest lap of the race, so we're going to run for the entire lap here into turn 1, getting hooked up with the apex nicely there in second gear, using all of the road on the exit as we go up into 4th gear and then 5th gear. We don't quite reach 6th gear at the end of this straight, so you're looking out for the braking point, which is the end of the barrier. In just a moment, there is normally a marker there, just there, but it got knocked away quite annoyingly. Keeping the throttle quite firmly planted on the exit, using all of the width. This corner is really tough. Tried to get almost flat through there, but I just getting the brakes on ever so slightly to keep the car in check through there. Might have to lift through this right-hander. This corner is all about bravery and getting close to the wall as possible to keep the maximum amount of speed in. This one, get over to the right-hand side, dab of the brakes, or you can just release the throttle, get as close as you can. Watch out for the car over that crest. It goes light on you. Get as close as you can to the wall to get on the throttle as early as possible. This section just requires outright bravery. You can go over this AstroTurf and it doesn't dirty your lap, so that is classed as a clean lap. Turn in early for that turn there. Because it's over a crest, the car won't turn in as quickly, so you'd be surprised how quickly you can go through there if you actually turn in earlier than you think. Through this turn, getting hooked up with the apex nicely onto the power very early to bring you to the outside of the turn, onto the longest straight on the track. Obviously a very important turn because of the long straight. Going up to 6th gear, hitting the limiter just before you go through the kink here. Getting over to the right hand side once you do, braking on the end of this shadow, down 4 gears into 2nd, or no, 3 gears into 3rd, sorry. You can go into 2nd, but the car might go a bit oversteery on you on the exit there. So into this one, braking on the end of this shadow by the end of that curb, down into 2nd gear for this one. The final turn on the circuit as we cross the line here. It's going to be a 207.5, so quite a good lap there actually. The best laps in this lobby were about 206, low 206s, so I'm still quite a way off though. So this is the end of lap number 22. I was considering my options here basically, because T6 Bullet here is going to get passed by Kerry behind. Now this is quite important because I was essentially considering whether or not I should pit right now or later. I could have gone a couple of laps longer, so I come into the pit lane here at the end of lap 23. The main implication here is basically if I leave it too long, there's a chance that I would just be passed in the pit lane by Kerry as he goes past. So on the exit here, I'm about 700 or 800 feet away, so I have come out ahead, which is exactly what I wanted. If I had left that too long, there's a chance that he would have been past me when I exited the pit lane, and I would have had no chance of defending it. So this is exactly the reason why I pitted early, because he's going to catch up with me at some point. Now I actually have a chance to defend the lead rather than him just going past when I'm in the pits and I have no chance. So this is where it gets interesting. Into the chase at the end of lap 28, we've got 2 and a bit laps left here. His Ford is really quick down the straight, but it just about maxes out as we reach the kink, fortunately. So I can take the normal racing line here. It doesn't go for a lunge into there. And into the final turn, it gives me a slight nudge, which actually gives me a bit of a boost and a bit of breathing room. So I can take the normal racing line. He's not going to lunge from that kind of distance. So into the final turn, get your exit right. Have a quick look behind. I'm actually gaining on him ever so slightly here, so I don't need to go defensive into this first turn. It's not the best overtaking place anyway. So get hooked up nicely. Park it on the apex, know where he can go. And I'm on the exit, nice and early. Coming into turn number 2, considering blocking, but he's not quite close enough. He has to be fully alongside really if he's going to go for a move. So I don't bother defending there. The end of lap number 29, we've got another attempt here to try and get past. I've got a decent exit, but he's still very close. I didn't have the best sector through the hills there, so he is going to stick very close to my tail as we come up to the chase for the penultimate time. So he's gaining and gaining. I'll park the car in dead centre of the track. Makes it very tough for him to make a decision. And again, parking it on the apex here, taking the normal racing line, Don't get the best exit there. Get a slight bit of oversteer, so I have to correct it. So I have to go defensive here as he gets a good run into the final turn. Force him to the outside. We're going to lap Robo here, who's off onto the gravel. Force Kerry wide. He's got nowhere to go, so I kept the position quite nicely. This is a good repeat of last year's battle, going past another back marker here as we go into turn 1. So we're going to run here for the entire lap. This is going to be the last lap of the AOR Championship, and probably my AOR career in Forza 6, to be honest, because I don't think there is going to be another league. Well, there isn't going to be another league for Forza 6, at least not one of this level. There is a junior league, but I won't be playing in that. So this is going to be the last Forza 6 league I compete in the AOR series. So this is going to be the last lap we do here. I'm guessing there's going to be a Forza 7 league when that comes out, but that is going to be a long way away. So for now, this is going to be the final lap of my AOR career for a while, unless I do iRacing. But coming through, this is the tricky section here. Fortunately, because I was slow, it was probably the best section to be slow on, because it's really hard to pass through here. So you can see here, I'm just absolutely shocking. My lines were all over the place. He has a chance here, but he's on the outside into a very fast sweeping chicane here. Not the best place to overtake. That's what I'm talking about. He can't really go past, despite how slow I am. And through there, he actually collides with the barrier. Gives me a bit more breathing space as we come into the hairpin here before the long straight. So I'm going to have a lot more breathing space this time compared to the previous 2 laps, as you can see there, confirmed by that gap there, about 200 feet as we go down the straight. So I'm going to have more than enough room to be able to take the normal racing line without having to defend. So it looks like we're going to get a 3rd here, which is one of my original aims of the championship. It's going to be my best result of the season, making the most of other people's misfortune, I guess. Kerry, Phil, not having the best of fortune, Shuffle as well. Jordan having a stall on the start and then a big collision at turn 2. So making the most of their misfortune. Shadow Demon had a very good race here to finish 2nd. He was very quick round here last year as well. And we get across the line here. That's the end of the race and the season. So I finished 3rd, my best result of the season. Very pleasing. A 3rd. I got a 3rd last season as well. So it's good to repeat that and fulfill one of my aims for the season, to get a podium. So let's go through my aims actually. One of them was finish no lower than 7th, which I didn't achieve. That's the final result there. I finished 8th in Brands Hatch. At least 1 podium. Yep, just done that. 5th or better in the championship. Yes, I finished 4th overall, which is pretty good actually, given that I would say there are definitely 4 quicker drivers than me. Phil, I'll say, is typically quicker, but just a bit more inconsistent during this championship, meaning he didn't finish ahead. Top 4 in qualifying once. Nope, did not achieve that. My qualifying was actually pretty bad. No stalls at the start. Didn't achieve that. Laguna Seca, I stalled it off the line. And never lose out from a qualifying position. I lost out from my Brands Hatch qualifying position where I qualified 6th, finished 8th. So I didn't actually fulfill many of my aims, apart from at least 1 podium and 5th or better in the championship, which are arguably the 2 most important ones. Of course I'd say that, but I'd say the championship finishing position is the most important out of all of those aims. But that is it. That is it. After 3 seasons of racing, we are going to bring a close to the AOR racing. It's actually been a really good, enjoyable experience. One which was recommended to me, and I really wasn't quite sure if I should have done it to begin with, but I joined in and it was actually really good racing. I've improved a lot from this league, racing against very quick drivers and learning a lot from them. So really pleased to have actually taken part in this, and hopefully for Forza 7 there will be a lot more. Now I'll have a free day in the week, so what I'm considering is an open lobby day every week. So let me know your thoughts on that. If you would like to join every week, I'll do something fresh and we could do some online racing together with my subscribers. So that is it from me today and from the season and from AOR for now. I hope you have enjoyed it, guys. Let me know your thoughts on the season, on this race, and that is it from me. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.